The 7 investigators were the first to report that more Legionella bacteria was found in the water system on the Oakland County campus in Pontiac.
First it was the sheriff's office, then it was the courthouse. Now some elected officials are questioning why they weren't told sooner about the potentially deadly bacteria being found in the water.
As always, 7 investigator Heather Catallo has been leading the way on this one. She joins us now with a look at what you have uncovered. Heather?
A lot of new information. We're now getting more clarity about the delay in alerting hundreds of employees and members of the public. Those results confirming Legionella inside the courthouse were emailed to a county employee on December 23rd, shortly after 3 p.m. But that employee's shift ended at 2, and county officials say the email was not opened for 3 days. That information and other delays in testing have employees upset and elected officials questioning county leadership's response to this situation.
I'm frustrated and angry that I wasn't notified immediately.
Lisa Brown is the Oakland County Clerk and Register of Deeds, and her staff was busy at work on both December 23rd and December 26th. Those dates are important because the county was notified on December 23rd that 4 of 11 test sites in the Oakland County Courthouse tested positive for Legionella. But Brown says employees working in the courthouse were not told by county leadership about the results until the afternoon of December 26. In an email to her staff, Brown called that delay inexcusable. What do you think should have happened?
I believe in treating people how you want to be treated. So I would have contacted at least the electeds in this office, in this building rather, to let them know so they can let their staff know.
The potentially deadly bacteria that causes a form of pneumonia was found in men's bathrooms on the 1st and 3rd floors and in sinks in the cafeteria. Those courthouse results follow a Legionnaires diagnosis in a custodial employee who works in the Oakland County Sheriff's Office across the street from the courthouse. County officials say they learned about that diagnosis on November 10th, but did not test the sheriff's office for more than 2 weeks until November 25th. Those results came back December 4th, and the county closed the sheriff's headquarters for remediation. The next day, the county disclosed publicly that a member of the public who got Legionnaires back in April had listed the courthouse as a place he had visited. Was anything done to do any testing in April?
No, because we did not have that second case to connect it and begin testing, which is what is standard in terms of testing public buildings. There's no immediate risk to the public in the courthouse.
The court complex not only houses Brown staff of about 100 people, but hundreds of judges, court employees, and prosecutors, plus the treasurer's office and the Board of Commissioners' offices. And the building is full of public restrooms where the public can easily access the water. Do you think the building should have been tested back in April when there was that other case?
I'm more of a proactive person. I'd rather rule it out and be safe. I would have done the testing, but that's just the kind of person I am.
The 7 investigators previously reported county officials admitted there was no plan in place to regularly monitor the water system that feeds their 45 buildings.
Why didn't the county have a regular water testing plan?
I don't know. It's not mandated by anyone. It's not the law that we have to or obviously would have. But and I think we're working towards that. Despite
the custodial employee in the sheriff's office testing positive in November, no testing was done in the courthouse until December 15th, and the special 0.2 micron filters were not added to the bathrooms in the courthouse until December 30th, 51 days after the employee's Legionnaires diagnosis.
I would rather be proactive. Let's do the testing. Let's put the filters on. Let's be safe, right? And just make sure. But I'm not in charge of this building. I'm just a tenant.
We visited the courthouse on Tuesday. While the public restrooms did have filters on the sinks, several employee bathrooms still did not have filters installed. The 7 investigators have also learned the county only tested 1 water system loop in the courthouse tower. They say it's a closed loop, but that means the prosecutor's office and Board of Commissioners sections have not been tested. Brown says she's brought in bottled water, masks, and allowed immunocompromised employees to work remotely.
I want people to know that many of our services are available online. So if they don't have to come to the courthouse, just a reminder, I'd rather our people be safe and protected. and have the knowledge that before they're walking into a building where they could possibly be exposed to something that could make them sick or worse.
Those employee bathrooms that I showed you that did not have the filters on the fixtures, they also did not have signage telling employees not to use them until after I started asking questions about that today. The county spokesman says they flushed the entire courthouse water supply as well as the main jail, but so far they still do not have testing scheduled for the jail. They will continue to test the courthouse and sheriff's office and come up with a water management plan for the future because they clearly did not have one in place. They're saying they're being proactive, but there's still questions about these delays in the diagnosis, when they tested, and when they got those results.
And Legionella bacteria is very serious. You would
Very
expect
serious.
an overabundance of caution.
You would think.
Yeah.
Well, you got to hope they'll get it together, especially after your reporting
Yeah.
We'll keep track.
has now enlightened them. All right, thank you, Heather, as always. Rexy.